Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. I have yet to film in 2020. I can't believe I'm saying this. It's the 20th of January and I've yet to put anything onto YouTube. However, I am back and today's video is going to be races of 2020 and why I'm not running the London Marathon. So I think the reason why I haven't got round to filming this is that I often don't do my hair and wear makeup at the minute, and I haven't really wanted to film when I've just been sort of at home. But today I've made an effort, so I thought I'd come on and film this video and give you all a recap of 2019 and what we've got going ahead for 2020. So 2019 was, if I look back on it now, actually reflecting on it, was quite a good year. I think 2017 and 2018 was like really when I made my breakthrough with my running, and there was a lot of PB. So, and then obviously when you have a breakthrough like that, you know, times just seem to tumble quite quickly, and all the time you seem like you're achieving a lot. And then when it gets to a point that maybe you're not at that stage, it then feels harder. So I think maybe that's why 2019 felt a little bit harder for me. However, PB'd at the London Marathon, 3:22, couldn't believe it. Like, had one of the best races, and that's all you can hope for as a runner, just to have a good race and PB. An unexpected PB at the Vitality 10k of 40:40. I've wanted to break the sub 40 barrier for such a long time, and probably it's always been a little out of my reach, or I've never really focused on a 10k. So to get that, I just sort of thought I'll turn up and see what I can do. Went through halfway in like 2020 maybe, or something like that, or 20 something, and I just thought, wow, I think maybe 2030. Yeah, 2030 I think. And I was like, oh, I'm on for a PB here. So I've just got to try and negative split this now. But that was great. I ran my first ultra marathon, first and last. Podiumed at the Cyprus Half Marathon, which was amazing. Was third lady there. And then I did finished the year off with the New York Marathon, and also had to sort of change my mindset. So that was a great like sort of finish the year where I had a bit of a struggle, but then managed to turn it around and really enjoyed it and did a 3:32. So yeah, really good year in 2019. And then 2020, this is what it leads on to. So a big thing for me at the end of last year. It took me a while to sort of make the decision. I think deep down I already sort of knew that this was the case, but I took a while to ponder it, and I basically made the decision not to run the London Marathon. Now, the London Marathon is the iconic, it is the like creme de la creme, everything that everyone dreams of doing. You know, you see it on the TV, runners and non-runners, they want to do it. However, I have done it 4 times now, and I'll go on to sort of why I'm sort of not doing it. But basically, like, my journey with the London Marathon started in 2014. That's the first time I did it. I got in through a charity place and didn't really know much. I did loads of research online. I went to like all of the talks that I could go to. I went to the Meet the Experts Day, which they put on. And at the time I thought I knew what I was doing. Compared to now, I knew nothing. But I had a really good race. I didn't really wear a Garmin at the time. The app that I was tracking on my phone just completely kaput at the start of the race. So I just had to run by feel. And again, that was probably one of the best races. Probably you suppress some of the bad memories of your first marathon. But I just remember the good stuff, and I did a really good time. I did like an even split. I did 3:54. Obviously the last few miles hurt, but I saw my friends, my family, absolutely loved it. So because of that, I then went back in 2015 with the same charity, Children with Cancer UK, and then I joined the running club. So that's where I then, at the end of 2014, I joined the Redway Runners. Started training for 2015, and I overtrained, if I'm being honest. There was club runs galore, and my friends were like, would you come along to this, come along to that, and probably did too much too soon. And then I picked up an injury, then picked up a stress fracture, which was awful, horrendous, and yeah, it just meant that I was out. I think I was about 6 weeks out from the London Marathon, and I had to, still didn't realise it was that at the time, kept sort of like trying to get back into training, and wasn't happening. Had an x-ray and it was confirmed, and that was it. I cried for weeks. So in 2016 the charity offered me a place again because I had fundraised for them 2 years in a row, and I just decided to turn it down just because I wanted to focus on rehab and just getting stronger again, and I didn't really want to go through that pain. So 2016 I took out. So then it got into 2017. Again, the charity came back to me and said, would you like to run for us? And because I had that time off, I was fueled. I was so excited. I wanted to go again. And I really wanted to sort of put wrong wanted to put right the wrongs that I did in 2015. So 2017, so determined. I made sure that I was doing more strength training. You know, this is when like sort of CCK was just starting to like build and to form, and just wanted to make sure. So I did strength training, cross training. I did everything right that I thought that I was doing at the time, and secretly wanted to go for good for age, which was 3:45 for me at the time. So that was the target, and I did it. 3:44, cut it really fine, but I still did it. Good for age is good for age. Well, it was at the time. Benchmarks have changed now, but managed to get in. So yeah, amazing. So then I was like, yes, good for age, 2018 spot, let's do it. Had the best training block. If you haven't watched any of my videos, I did a whole series of them. So 2018, yep, had the best training block, and then that was the hot day. The hottest day on record, I think, or one of, and yeah, blew up at 16 miles, and it was just a run walk to the end. It just felt horrible. Time I did was 3:32. Sounds fantastic on paper. It felt disgusting, awful. Speak to anyone like, I love being in that boat, and I love being in that crew. If anyone that did that London Marathon, everyone knows what it felt like. It just was not good. Not good. Probably went out too fast, probably went out at the pace that I wanted to try and achieve. Well, I did. And obviously then body couldn't cope with it, temperature, heart rate. So yeah, just crumbled. And you know, 3:32 sounds great, but just no good at all. So 2019, last year, again, wanted to do right the wrong, if that's the right saying. What happened in 2018? Pulled an injury at the start of the year, like slight injury, adductor issues. So that kind of put me off speed work for a little bit. So that did kind of fill me with fear. However, the training sort of panned out all right, and did 3:22. What the heck? 3:22. Oh, just beyond my wildest dreams, 3:22. So yeah, really, really good. A few months before that, I then had achieved, qualifying time for New York Marathon. So loads of people have gone on about it and said how fantastic it was. So, and I've never really trained for 2 marathons in a year before, like 2 proper training blocks. So New York was the plan. Because I'd achieved my PB, I wasn't really fussed about what I wanted to do at New York. I just wanted to train well and do myself justice. Summer plans, the hot weather, we had some really hot weather last year, just got in the way, and it just meant that training wasn't as enjoyable. There wasn't as many people like training at the same time as me doing long runs, so did a lot of training on my own. It just didn't really work out. That's when I met Duncan from DFS Coaching. Did I say that right? DSF Coaching. Sometimes I get it wrong. Sorry, Duncan. Who helped me change my mindset, and I went into it and really enjoyed it, and came out with another 3:32. Sorry, a 3:32. But that was different from the hot London, because I absolutely love New York. Great experience, amazing atmosphere. If you have the chance to do it, go and do it. So then, because of that, I was so pleased that I'd got to the point where I'd enjoyed New York. But I think leading up to New York, I was feeling like probably experienced a bit of burnout in my job, and I just decided I'm going to take some time off. You know, 2 marathons in 1 year, and for like, if you think about all the marathons I've just been through since 2014, I've technically been training for a marathon, apart from 2016 where I had some time off, 10Ks and half marathons. But essentially it feels like every spring I've been training for a marathon. So I've decided to give myself a break in 2020. I haven't had that excitement. Like normally at the start of the year I have like this real buzz about the London Marathon, and I haven't just felt that this year. I'm really excited for all my clients. I've got so many clients doing it this year, like ballots or qualifying time. So for me, I'm actually really excited to be going supporting and watching. I've just decided no London, give myself a rest, and who knows, next year I might come back raring to go again and wanting to do it. I have got a championship start line entry if I wanted to, but I had that experience last year, and I don't know, the excitement's not there. So I've made a decision not to do it. However, so that then brings us on to 2020 plans. I've been going on a lot longer than what I thought I would. So 2020 race plans. The focus is on shorter distances, so 10Ks and halves. 10Ks has always been a struggle for me to try and crack properly, probably because I don't do it enough. So this year I'm going to throw myself out of my comfort zone and do some more 10Ks. First one is the Mad Dog 10K in February. I've not done it before, but I've heard that you get an awesome goodie bag, so that's in around 3 weeks time. Next we move on to March and we have the Cyprus Half. Done it the last 2 years, so we could not go back for a third. We're going with quite a few friends this year, so looking forward to that. In April, have yet to book this, but a local 10k in Flitwick. Apparently it's quite undulating, but it is the week before the London Marathon, so this is probably why I've not done it before, because it is so close to London, so I'm gonna book that up too. Then we go into May. I need to check if I've actually booked this yet, but I will be doing the Rocket 5k, and then be doing the next day the Milton Keynes half marathon. I was given this place by the race director himself. He messaged me, I think the day that I made the decision that I wasn't doing London. I'd put up a post on Facebook and said, right, that's it, I'm not doing the London Marathon, and literally within like 5 minutes I had an email from Andy to say, oh, would you like to do the Milton Keynes Marathon this year? I can give you a place if you want. So I just went back to him and said, no, I'm actually taking a rest this year, so he's agreed to give me a half place, so looking forward to doing that. I've done it once before, run it with some friends, and I'll probably just take it as an sort of like an easy training run rather than going for a time at that, especially if I'm going to go for a good time at the Rocket. We're then going away for a week. At the end I'd like to do the Vitality 10k again. Obviously, like, it was an unexpected PB last year, so I'd like to see what I can do if maybe I target it, and see where things go from there. June and July, haven't really got anything on yet. I find that that's sort of a time of the year where there's not many races on anyway, because of the summer, people going away. I just haven't really looked that far. And then we move on to September. I now have the Berlin Marathon booked, so another one of the 6 stars tick off, and that is ultimately a goal of mine. Not sure when I'll really achieve it. You know, it might be quite a few years down the line, but looking forward to get another start. And this is the thing, I'm excited about doing it, and this is what I wanted. I haven't felt that excitement again with London this year, so looking forward just to having a bit of a break from the long runs, and then get stuck into things later on in the year with Berlin. I'm going with a few friends, so that's probably what's exciting me, that I've got some people to train with and obviously go and experience the event with them. So yeah, that's really it. I think maybe in September I'll try and find another half marathon to do, just as sort of like a build up into the marathon. I always find that that's a really good thing to do, sort of a good way of like gauging your fitness and seeing where you're at. And I think there's quite a few around that time. So I know that the Bedford half is in the start of September. That's about 3 weeks I think before Berlin, so it might not be the best one to do, but then we're sort of looking at the end of August, and again that's probably weather wise, and I don't like it being summer holidays again. I don't find that there's not a lot on at that time, but I could be wrong, So there we are, race plans for 2020, a lot of 10Ks, a lot of halves, and then moving into Berlin. So ultimately the dream this year was to try and like PB again, and just to see what I'd be capable of over the shorter distances whilst not marathon training. All of my PBs have been like a byproduct of marathon training, so it'd be interesting to see what I can achieve without doing that. However, we have hit a bump in the road. I have had an injury now for just over a week, and FYI, I'm not a good injured runner at all. It's really come on all of a sudden, and potentially might have been something that I did at cross country over a week ago. Basically the SI joint, the sacroiliac joint, which is the joint between the spine and the hip, has sort of become locked. That side of my leg has got tight. Also, it might be where because that's come tight, it's then created sort of a leg length difference, which I kind of think I already have. So then I've been compensating on one side, and then obviously cross country might have just been the final straw, and yeah, it's given me a lot of pain. I have not really been able, I wouldn't say there's a lot of pain actually, but it's just been really uncomfortable walking. I've been able to cross train really strangely, so I've been swimming, I've been sitting on the bike, we've got a turbo, I've been to yoga, I managed a strength class at F45 last week, and none of that is like aggravated it, but it's also not been getting any better. I did see a second physio took advantage at a race yesterday, and she was really good. She kind of just trying to put my pelvis back into place, and she thinks that it's like my legs have come out of the line because of that. It's feeling better today, so fingers crossed this is just the start. So yeah, this is it's been a bit of a tough week last week because I feel like had a training plan all like written out, and I've been raring to go with it, and then I feel at the moment that I wasn't at a stage where I've previously been in January, so I knew that some of my targets were going to be ambitious and I'd have to work really hard, and then obviously having a week out has sort of knocked those plans sideways. You know, I can give fantastic advice to everyone else when it's not myself, but when it comes to you, it's a lot easier to take. But I'm just maybe going to have to take a different approach. One of my I don't really set resolutions, but at the start of January I did write down a lot of things I wanted to sort of achieve this year, or things that I want to work on individually, and I'm going to sort of like reassess them every month. And one of the things on there, although I did write down target times, essentially I wanted to find the enjoyment again with my running, because at the end of last year I felt that was lost a little. So that is sort of like the main goal for me, is to try and find the enjoyment. So when I am back running, I will tell you the next time that I get to run a 5k, I absolutely probably won't love every minute of it, but I'm going to revel in the glory afterwards of just being able to run again. But also as well, I do have, might have mentioned it, I don't think I have actually, I do a strength class, but at the minute I have, I've joined up a studio called F45 where I do my strength training. They do some awesome cardio sessions, but because some of those sessions are quite high impact, I've had to lay off of them a little bit. So I managed on Thursday to get into their strength class. They do Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I'm looking forward to getting back into that again this week, and hopefully just continuing with that, because I actually have really missed it. I added it into my training just because it's been cold outside and it's good just to get indoors, I think. The trainer's fantastic, I love it, and you know, that's one of the things I said at the start of the year, I wanted to enjoy my training, so why not do that if you enjoy it. Other things, what else have I... So one of the things I've been loving at the moment is park run as well, so I've been including that into my training week quite often. You know, over Christmas we were spoilt, we got to do Christmas Day, 2 on New Year's Day, and then luckily I did get to walk it last week. I think it's my first time walking it, but I'm working to my 100 park runs, so looking forward to getting hopefully back to that. So if all things go to plan, my 100 will be on Saturday the 1st of February, and we're going to head down to Bushy Park run. So if you're watching this and if you're interested, come along, hopefully celebrate my 100th with me. So yeah, that's where we're at with training. Obviously the races are not going to change, hopefully. I had to miss a race yesterday, but the races that I've got booked in, hopefully they're not going to change and I will be able to do them, especially Mad Dog 10Ks in 3 weeks time, so I'm hoping by then that I should be back running. I'm hoping by the end of this week, but maybe the benchmarks might change. But one of the main things is to, you know, overall targets is to try and sort of some PB at some of these later on down the year. But if that doesn't happen, it is just finding the enjoyment again, and that's why I've built these races in that I wanted to do and that I'm excited for. So yeah, there we are, that's where we're at with 2020. Obviously maybe after, you know, a few races I'll do a little update and see where we are and forecast for, like we'll do it in quarters like you do in business. This is quarter one, so in quarter one we'll have Mad Dog and Cyprus, and maybe after Cyprus I can sort of sit down, chat and see where we're at and see what's happened since then. But that's it. This is a lot longer than what I thought. I genuinely thought I'd be sitting down for 10 minutes, so well done if you've made it to the end of this video. But I will promise that I'll be back again soon and I'll put some more videos. Let me know what you'd like to see this year. Obviously content's going to be a bit different because I'm not doing my London Marathon series, but if there's anything you want to see, just let me know and I'll catch you all in the next video, hopefully soon and not as long as I've left this one last time.